Picking up where we left off, we are in 3.3 Mesopotamian Innovations and Contributions. Explore page 6. We're now on to what do historians know about Hammurabi's Code? The Law of the Land. How did Hammurabi's Code impact life in Mesopotamia? In the winter of 1901 to 1902, French archaeologists digging in Susa, Iraq, made an incredible discovery: a huge block of stone engraved with the earliest complete legal code in human history. This code would come to be known as the Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi was a Babylonian king who is believed to have reigned in the 1700s BCE. Not only was he a powerful military leader who greatly expanded the size of his kingdom, but he also was a shrewd and hands-on ruler. Hammurabi built a strong central government and personally supervised tasks such as building, irrigation, and tax collection. However, he is most well known for the code of law he created. Mesopotamians believe that the Code of Hammurabi was not created by the king, but rather it was given to him by Shamash, god of the sun, who was associated with justice. Many historians believe that Hammurabi's code was created by recording a number of the legal decisions he had made throughout his reign. His decisions were based on old Sumerian laws that had existed for centuries. No written record of those laws has been found. It is believed that the copies of the law code were placed in important locations throughout Babylon so that people would know the law and be aware of their rights. Most aspects of life were covered by parts of the code. So, what do historians know about Hammurabi's code? Quite a bit. Now on to page 7. If you weren't too comfortable with the amount of information for answering what do historians know about Hammurabi's code on page 6, page 7 should be able to give even more. If you're good on number 5 and want to focus on number 6, what kinds of laws did Hammurabi's code contain? You will find these here as well. Hammurabi's code. What laws were contained in Hammurabi's code? The Code of Hammurabi established the law of the land. It covered a variety of issues including marriage, theft, assault, and death. If a man, in a case pending judgment, has uttered threats against the witnesses, or has not justified the word that he has spoken, if that case be a capital suit, that man shall be put to death. Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi begins by laying out the rules for proper legal procedure. In other words, explaining the way that the legal matters should be addressed. This is followed by the penalties for not following proper legal process. Examples of improper process include: a person could be put to death for making false or unfair accusations. If a man was found guilty of bribing a witness, he would have to serve the sentence from the judgment of that case. Unfair decisions made by a judge could lead to his being removed as a judge, or if the case included a monetary settlement, he would have to pay 12 times the amount owed by the guilty party. If a man of gentle birth has struck the strength of a man of gentle birth who is like himself, he shall pay 1 mina of silver. Code of Hammurabi. The next section of code deals with the laws that manage daily life. This section covers a variety of topics such as property rights, loans, deposits, and debt, setting the rates for goods and services, family rights, personal injury. This includes holding tradesmen responsible for poorly done work that resulted in injury, including doctors who mistreated patients. The Code of Hammurabi ends by declaring that he had been called upon gods to cause justice to prevail in the land, to destroy the wicked and the evil. Now on to the last page, page 8. Should have been able to answer number 6 on page 7. So on page 8, we are looking for in what two ways did Hammurabi's code change the idea of justice? A new sense of justice. How did the Code of Hammurabi change the idea of justice? The Code of Hammurabi not only influenced the daily lives of Babylonians, but it also changed the way people thought about justice. This change would impact how later civilizations viewed the legal system. Hammurabi's code changed the idea of justice in two very important ways. First, although the code has a divine origin story, the code explicitly says that Hammurabi was chosen by the gods to bring the laws to his kingdom. There is no reference to punishment from the gods. All of these rules are written with a focus on human life, and the punishment for breaking them comes from the human legal system. The code moves the burden of justice from the divine world to a place of human control. Clear rules, clear punishment. Hammurabi's code lays out a clear and specific structure of laws and punishments. These laws not only protected innocent people who had been harmed, but they also prevented criminals from being given a punishment that did not fit the crime. For instance, under this code, a thief might have his own property taken away instead of being put to death. The idea of having the punishment match the crime, both in type and punishment and severity, is known today as the principle of eye for an eye. Even though the code standardized laws throughout the land, a person's social status made a difference in how the laws were applied. For example, there was a greater penalty for striking a man of higher social class than there was for striking a man who was equal to you. The code also protected the Babylonian people from unfair rulers and judges. Prior to the code, there was no set systems for punishments. Rulers and judges' decisions were often inconsistent, and there was no alternative for people who believed that they had been treated unfairly. Hammurabi's code provided stability to the system. Rulers and judges could no longer make unfair or arbitrary decisions, or else they themselves would be punished. Because these laws were written in stone and displayed in several locations, anyone who could read could understand the laws. Then Anu and Bel called by name me, Hammurabi, the exalted prince, who feared God, to bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, to destroy the wicked and the evildoers, so that the strong should not harm the weak. Code of Hammurabi. The rule of law, or the idea that all people were bound by one common set of laws established by the government, was a new concept in Mesopotamian society. Hammurabi was not just interested in gaining power, but in seeing that people lived in peace and prosperity. Hammurabi's code specifically spoke about protecting the weak and helpless orphans and widows, the oppressed and downtrodden, those who could not be helped themselves. I skipped a line. Okay, I see where I skipped. So, Hammurabi's code specifically spoke about protecting the weak and helpless, orphans and widows, the oppressed and downtrodden, those who could not help themselves. Like many other innovations in Mesopotamian society, this new legal code had significant influence. This new way of thinking about justice can even be seen in our modern laws. Mesopotamia was a rich and fertile land. The civilizations that lived there were also responsible for a number of technological and cultural advances. These factors combined to make Mesopotamian societies powerful, and with that power came the ability to influence surrounding nations as well as future civilizations. So, in what two ways did Hammurabi's code change the idea of justice? You have clear rules, clear punishment. Your first change is found in here. Hammurabi's code lays out a clear structure of laws and punishment, with all the details that go with it. And the code also protected Babylonian people from unfair rulers and judges. This explains what that means as well. Okay, have fun finishing your homework. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you Monday.